One reason why I left music, I was at one point an aspiring professional musician slash professional rap artist. But one reason why I left music is because of the whole sink or swim mentality. And I'm not just talking about being competitive, to get a big, huge recording contract. I can understand sink or swim there because, hey, stakes are high. You're trying to get the best of the best. It's just like a tournament, etc. You're competing, that's different. But I'm talking about in terms of learning, just wanting to learn to play an instrument. Once you got out of elementary school, there was no patience for the beginner. None. People didn't know what they were doing. Nobody wanted to take the time to show them how to do anything. And the arrogance. All the arrogance. Especially between those who were formally schooled in music towards those who were self-taught. No matter how talented the self-taught were. The formally trained academic, I would say ivory tower, but in my case it was an ebony or onyx tower. The ebony onyx tower musicians had no patience for those who came from the salt of the earth. If you didn't know how to read, they just felt you were an imbecile. And I don't mean read as in read the newspaper, read and blog. I mean as in read music. If you didn't know how to read music, they wanted nothing to do with you. And that really annoyed me. And I didn't realize why it annoyed me, but I think it was because martial arts. In the martial arts, there's room for the beginner. There's room for the intermediate. There's room for the advanced. There's room for anybody who wants to learn. And I think that's the way it should be. That's why sometimes I know I get annoyed. Sometimes I've worked at different jobs and someone may not know something and they're afraid to ask a question. If they ask somebody that's not patient, the bean person just has no patience with them. Acts like they're being bothered, whatever. It really annoys me. And I think it comes from my martial arts experience of, you know, everybody was a beginner at one point. In a sense, we're all beginners in some aspect of the martial arts. We're all here to learn. And I like to take that approach to, my day job and other activities, outside of competition. I mean, we're all here to learn. So if I know something and I'm authorized to share it, I share that information with you. I help you. How do I do this? If I know, I'll show you. I don't feel like I should hoard all the knowledge to myself and not share it with anyone. I understand that some people can be self-taught. Now, there is kind of that dynamic in the martial arts where some people, they don't like the self-taught martial artists. They have no patience for the self-taught martial artists. But I find that to be sort of the exception than the rule. Because even if they have a problem with the self-taught martial artist, if the self-taught martial artist shows up for lessons, they will teach him. They found that the problem is not with their willing to teach the self-taught martial artist, it's with the self-taught martial artist willing to empty their cup and receive more information. But I can tell you in the music world, the self-taught are the ones with the empty cups. And a lot of times, and it's not all, a lot of times the formally trained, quote unquote, ebony and ivory tower experts are the ones with the full cups who won't empty them. And I'll tell you another place I've seen this too is in mathematics. A lot of people have a story of a math professor, not just math, I would say mathematics and the formal computer science classes. Any of your technical subjects, oh my gosh. You want to talk about sink or swim? If you don't know it, they will leave you behind. They have no patience for the beginner. which I find to be funny. Because I mean, I've told some of the people who have no patience for the beginner, I've told some of them, and it's made me not very well liked. I've told them, you know, someone showed you how to start off with XYZ once. I remember one time one of my friends said to me, he said, gosh, you know how big, I'm paraphrasing him clean up. You know how to go to the bathroom by yourself, right? Nobody showed you that. This is terms of like saying, nobody can, why do you want to show this person something that's so basic? You should know that. No one told you how to go to the bathroom. And I said, well, and this was right around, my son was about, what, 1, almost 2. I said, well, now that I'm a parent, I do know that someone taught you how to go to the bathroom. So there goes your little metaphor. Yeah, someone showed you how to use the bathroom. A lot of stuff you take for granted, someone showed you how to do. If you've ever witnessed a human being being born, you don't even breathe until somebody smacks you. When they take you out of that womb, if the doctor doesn't smack you, you won't breathe. In a way, that smack taught you how to breathe. So, back to my original point of why I left music. There was no patience for the beginner. And I'll tell you one thing. If you take a class with me, if I'm teaching it, if I'm the head instructor, I insist on patience for the beginner. A lot of times, I like to put my more advanced students and have them work with beginners. Because I know a lot of people don't have patience for the beginner. And if you're one of those people, if you think that you're too smart to take the time to slow down, to explain something to somebody that's not catching on as fast as you, especially if you're paid to teach people or you're paid to lead a team, you know, don't just get to cutting up, can't make it, bye. Slow down a little bit. If somebody taught you something first, somebody took the time to show you how to walk, talk, eat, drink, breathe, even use the bathroom. Someone taught you how to put your clothes on too. Someone taught you how to write. Someone taught you how to read. Now, again, outside of competition's one thing. But when it comes to learning a craft, everybody should be able to learn as long as they're willing to make the effort. You should be willing to teach. You should be willing to lead. You should have patience for the beginner because you will want to.